So in this video, I'm going to go over the best Shopify dropshipping tutorial for beginners, and I'm going to show you the exact steps that I use to get a new store to $85,000 in 30 days.
Oh my God! Wow!
What is up? I'm Dropship Panther, and I'm going to cut straight to the chase, and not like all these other BSer dropshipping gurus on YouTube who just full of poo-poo. I'm going to show you the complete step-by-step tutorial, which is perfect if you're a beginner. I'm going to be literally breaking these videos down into a series like a course, except I'm going to give it to you for free. And within this course, training within these free videos, I'm going to literally walk you from point A all the way to point Z of how I actually grew this store to $85,000 in 30 days. So this, if you're watching this as a beginner, this is going to be like your fast-track guide to massive success. So make sure you smash that subscribe button to make sure you're notified when the next video in this series comes out. And also, if you truly want to be successful, make sure you hit that like button as well too, okay? So with that being said, let's dive right in and let me hop on my computer. Alright, so for all you guys who are brand spanking new to dropshipping, you know what the heck it is, here's a real quick explanation of what dropshipping is. And simply, it's literally nothing more but finding products at wholesale and selling them at retail, okay? And here is literally a visual explanation of what I mean. Let's say, for example, we find a product at wholesale for $150, right? Okay, then we put that product on our store at a retail price of $200. So every time we sell that $150 product, we're earning $50 because we're charging a retail price of $200. So when a customer goes to your store and they pay for the product, they give you that $200. You literally take that $200, you keep 50 of it, and you forward 150 to your supplier, and your supplier literally ships and packages the product and ships it out to the customer. So that is how dropshipping model works.
Wow.
And what I want to get into now is the main important three things, the only three things that matter when you're starting off as a beginner, okay? And those three things are, number one, product research. Number two is store creation / optimization. And number three is marketing and selling. So in this whole video series, I'm literally going to go over each one of these three, and each one of these three things, as though they may seem simple, they're jam-packed with a lot of different things that you really want to make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn your notifications on so you don't miss each of the video series that we're going to go over to show you how to really build a successful store by really optimizing for these three things, okay? So before we get into those three things, we need to talk about the most deadly confusion in all of dropshipping and e-commerce, and this is the number one reason why most people fail, and I like to call this the Grim Reaper. The deadly confusion and cause of early death for dropshippers is literally starting off with the wrong store. This is why so many never see any success while others are just killing it, because it's literally all about systematic construction, which you're going to learn a lot more about in just a bit. But this alone is the biggest debate in dropshipping. I'm sure you've seen other YouTube channels talk about, oh yeah, start with this store, start with the general store, start with a one product store, start with the niche store. You've seen all of that crap, right? But unfortunately, the YouTube and the internet is full of idiots, and people were just full of poo-poo who just do not know what the hell they're talking about. And before you even think about taking their advice, make sure you pay attention to what we're about to go over, because this can be the determining factor of your success or your failures, which store to start off with, okay? So before we get into that, let's go over the different types of stores that there actually is. So there's three types of store. Number one is a general store, and a general store is a store with multiple products and multiple different industries, and you can go to walmart.com so you can see an example of what that kind of looks like. Number 2 is a one product store, and that's a store with literally one product, like this product right here. This example is Hey Silky Skin, which is the hairless remover, and which is a hair remover, okay? So that's that. And then the third type is a niche store. So this is a store that's focused on one specific industry, like Jeffrey Cosmetics. So these are how these stores are. So let me actually go in for you guys in this example. Let me show you what Walmart actually looks like, okay? So right here you can see this is Walmart. You can see they're selling multiple different they're in multiple different industries. They're in the home industry, in the toys, electronics, auto and tires. All of these are different industries. So this will be what we call a general store, okay? So if we go now to a one product store, just so you guys can see how all these look, this is a one product store. They only sell this one product. So that is what a one product store is. And now if we go to the last but not least, we go to a niche store. Looks like that isn't there. What am I doing? Let me fix this. Jeffrey Oops, hang on, y'all. Cosmetics. Okay, here it is. Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Okay, so this is what would be considered a niche store. Okay, so this is a store that's in the cosmetic niche. Okay. So, oops, let me move this out the way for y'all. So this is a store that's in the cosmetic niche. They mainly sell cosmetic things. They barely just started adding this extra stuff, but they're all niched down into cosmetics and stuff like that, okay? So those are the three types of stores. We got the general store, one product store, and niche store. So the truth is that they all work, but you have to know how they work and when to use what kind of store. It's literally a systematic construction formula, and without this understanding, you will fail, because they do all work, but you have to know when to use them. If you use them in the wrong order, you will fail. And what I want to do to explain this order and to give it context on why this order is right, unlike those other BSers, I give you context on why this order is right. Let me go over the 3 ways to grow any business. And literally by knowing this, you're literally going to be pretty much ahead of over 90% of drop shippers, because what I'm going to go over with you guys is 3 ways to grow any business, and also the pros and cons of each stores and which one you should start off with depending on what level you're at, okay? So let's get straight into the only 3 ways to grow any business, all right? So let's go over number 1. So the first way is to increase the number of customers. So you need to get more leads / prospects and convert them into paying customers. So the first way to grow your business is the obvious one, to get more customers. Number 2 is to increase the average order value, to get more customers to buy more from you on average. And number 3 is to increase the frequency that the average customer buys from you. So that means just pretty much get the customer to come back and buy more often from you. These are the 3 ways to grow any business. And later on throughout the series, I'm going to show you guys on how to pretty much make your dropshipping business into also a subscription business as well too. So you always have a recurring income every single month. So make sure you guys, if you guys want to find out about that, just leave in the comments below. Hell yeah, all right? And I'm going to go over that in some other videos. But these are the 3 ways to grow any business, okay? So now that we know there's only 3 ways, and the 3 ways was number 1, to get more customers, number 2, to increase the average order value, and number 3, to increase the buying frequency, getting people to buy more often from you. Now what I want to go over is the pros and cons of each store type, so you pretty much know which one you should start off with, okay? So let's start it all off, guys, with the general store. So here's the pros and cons of a general store. So, and what a general store is, again, if you forgot, a general store is nothing more but a store with multiple products and multiple different niches. And the pros about having a general store is that it's a rapid testing machine. So when you're first starting off, you don't know what product's going to work. So you need to find out and be able to test multiple different products in multiple different industries. So the good pro about a general store is that it's a rapid testing machine. And the second pro about a general store is that it's a time and money saver. And what I mean by that is because with the general store, since it's general,
Hello? That's not funny!
What that means is pretty much that you don't have to spend so much time and energy and money on studying each and every single niche, or pretty much branding and all those things like that. And then the third pro of a general store is that it's adaptable to trend. So let's say, for example, if you had a niche store or one product store and that trend starts to die down, a general store, it's able to go into any niche that is trending and add products there. So that's the pros. But here is the cons of a general store. Number one is that it has lower conversions because people are going to the store and then a lot of them are window shoppers, and it's just a lower converting because it doesn't have that experience of a single niche or a brand, okay? And then the other con of a general store is that it's extended competition, because since you're in every single niche, that means your competition is growing. It becomes more and more people. And the other con of a general store, it's hard to scale, okay? And remember, it's hard to scale because if we look back at the 3 ways to grow any business, then if it's hard to scale because it's harder to get people to come back and buy more often from you because your store is just full of everywhere. It's different if you had, let's say, for example, a bathing suit store, and then someone bought a bathing suit, and now they can come back and buy sunglasses, and they can also come back and buy sandals. That's different. They can come back for that. But a general store, it's all over the place, so sometimes it's hard to get people to come back. So these are the pros and the cons of a general store. So you need to know the good side and also the bad side, so you know why the system that I'm about to show you guys in just a bit, okay? So that's the pros and cons of a general store. Now, let's move to the pros and cons of a niche store. So a niche store is nothing more but a store that's focused on one specific industry. And here is the perfect pros for a niche store. Number one, it's a long-term business opportunity and it's easy to brand. Number two, they have a higher conversion rate than a general store because it gives you that branded experience and allows people who are single-minded in one niche to just pretty much buy more things and buy a lot faster, okay? And the third thing is it's easier to scale with organic and paid traffic, because you can literally, in your marketing, you can target people by their specific passions and their interests and the things that they do. So it's easier to scale with organic and paid traffic. And the fourth and final thing is it's easier to market with paid ads, kind of because the same thing I just said. It's easier to be able to think about what this niche actually likes and what this niche actually does, so you can find them and market towards them. So now the con of a niche store is that it's limited in flexibility. So what that means is, let's say, for example, if your niche is like starting to die down, then you're not flexible enough to start adding other products into it, because it will turn off, it wouldn't be in coherence with your brand and what your brand is. And then the other con is that it's time expensive. So niche stores take a little bit more time to actually build, because you have to actually build it for the niche. You have to understand what the niche likes. You have to understand what the niche does and what turns the niche on, what turns the niche off. And you have to be able to understand these things. And if you don't, it can be very, very bad, okay? It can be not in bad terms, it can cost you a lot of time, okay? So that's a niche store pros and cons. And last but not least is the one product store pros and cons. And one product store, remember guys, exactly how it sounds, a store with literally one product. So the pro of a one product store, it's easier to brand. And the second pro, it has a higher conversion rates than general stores and a niche store, because literally it's only one product, so people only have one decision. They can either buy or leave. And most people that hop on a store, not most, but a higher percentage of people that hop on the store will be more likely to buy, because they don't get distracted as easy by looking through all your other products and adding products to cart and checking out, because it's only one product. So that's why it has a higher conversion rate than pretty much a general store or a niche store, okay? And then the other pro is that it's easy to analyze the information, because you're getting feedback from literally only one product. It's not like that you have to look at all the analytics for multiple different products, but just this one. So that's why it's easier to analyze and get feedback from, because it's just that one product. So now here is the big fat con of a one product store. One product stores have a high failure rate, okay? They have an extremely high failure rate because it's all betting on one single product. And if you don't have marketing experience, then that's kind of a tough bet, because it's a lot of things you just don't know, okay? So, and then the other second con is that it takes longer to find a winning product because you're only testing one product at a time and you're building an entire brand around this product and you're trying to learn about the industry, learn about the niche, and then pretty much you got to do all that. That takes a lot of time for just one product. So if that one fails, then you got to go to the next one. That one fails, you got to go to the next one. So it takes a longer time to actually do that, okay? And then the last con about one product store is that it has a high risk of losing the market when there isn't any more demand for that one product. So just think of it. If you're selling only one product, because every product in business and every business has a life cycle. So it has a cycle when a product is hot and it's trending and when it goes down. So imagine if this one product starts to go down, then pretty much you don't even need it anymore. So people don't even need it no more. So therefore you will lose the market. You will lose your customer base. Okay. So that is pretty much the pros and the cons. And just to paint that last con for you in a little bit more of a perspective is just think about it like this. How many of you guys still play with like Nintendo 64s, right? Nintendo 64s, if you don't know what that is a game console that's super, super old and nobody really plays with those no more because it went through the product life cycle, okay? So that is pretty much the pros and cons of each of the stores. So I know what you're thinking. Trust me, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking about, oh my God, so which one do I pick? Your boys got you, okay? Dropship Panther got you back. So the answer to that question is the systematic construction. So let me paint out the exact time when to use each store and which one you should start off with, okay? And that's what I like to call the systematic construction. So the first store that you guys should start off with, if you're a beginner, you have no marketing experience, then what you should start off with is the general store. And here's why, okay? Because with the general store, the goal is to find a winning product as fast as possible so it can reveal to you a winning niche, right? When you're just now starting off in dropshipping, you don't know what product's going to work. You don't know what niche is going to work because it's not about what you like. It's about pretty much what the market likes. It's about what the customer likes. And if you can find out what a person wants or needs, you'll always be able to have the ability to make a fortune because you can be the supplier that gives them that wants or that need, which is products, right? So you want to start off with the general store at first because what you're trying to do is you're just trying to find a winning product and a winning niche as fast as possible. And then when you're testing your products, I always tell people you don't want to test more than 5 products. Now I usually say 1 to 3 products at once because it's going to be a lot of data you got to read through when you're marketing and you're testing those products out. So a general store is where if you have no experience at all and you're brand spanking new to dropshipping, you want to start off with the general store because you want to find a winning product as fast as possible. And a general store allows you to do that because you get to be into multiple different industries and you pretty much get to test out which product is going to work. So that's where you start off with, okay? And after you find a winning product from running your general store, then you can either take it to a one product store or a niche store, okay? So the reason why you would take your general, after you find a winning product from your general store, you build it into a one product store because now you know the product works. Now you have the data. You know what you need to do to actually create a successful one product store, okay? And now the goal is too, when you transition from the general store, you just take that one product and you build it to a one product store. The goal here is to earn as much as possible because a one product store has the highest conversion rates out of both the general and the niche store. So since you found your winning product, you build it out into a one product store so you can boost your conversion rates and make even more sales with your winning product until you find other winning products that complement the product well, because that's how you're going to really scale the business, okay? So now that you got your one product store and then you are also found other products that complement the product well, now you transition to a niche store, okay? And the goal of a niche store is scaling and creating a long-term business by branding the store into a niche of your winning products, okay? And this is going to be super, super vital. And I know what you hear. You hear all the people who have not made millions of dollars in dropshipping all preach, oh, just do one product store, just do one product store. out of their effing minds, okay? Because if you just start there, you're pretty much basically saying that your product research strategies is the best, and you're going to bet everything on this one product. It's stupid. This is why this is a systematic way of doing it, okay, you guys? So you got to understand that system. And what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to break it down on why. Because remember, there's only 3 ways to grow a business. So if anyone actually ever generated over millions of dollars, they would know these 3 ways to grow any business. So let's put this in context and let's evaluate this, okay? So remember, 3 ways to grow a business. Number 1 is to get more customers. Number 2 is to increase the average order value, get customers to spend more in your stores on average. And then number 3 is to increase the buyer's frequency. So get customers to come back and buy more often, all right? So we know those are the only 3 ways to grow a business. Now let's put this in full context, okay? Here's the reality. So we got the store types at the top in the blue right there. And then we got the check boxes, okay? So we want to see which one of these stores checks off all 3 ways to grow any business to the multi-million dollar. And let me tell you this. There are a few exceptions. There are general stores they make millions of dollars. There are one product stores that make millions of dollars. But the biggest giants in e-commerce are all niche stores, okay? The biggest giants are all niche stores, okay? So so let me break this down for you. So if we're looking for the number of customers, to increase the numbers of customers, all 3 of them can do that, okay? So that's a check for all 3 of them. So if we're looking for to increase the average order value, the general store can do that because you can upsell or cross-sell more products. The one product store, unfortunately, it can't do that because it's only selling one product. So you can't increase the average order value on what a customer actually spends on average with your store. So the next thing, and the only way you could do that with a one product store if you add warranties and stuff like that, but you can't truly maximize it, okay? So, and if it's a true one product store, you only sell one product. So the next thing is increase the average order value for a niche store. You can do that, okay? So now if we go to the last store type and the 3 ways to grow a business is to increase the frequency the average customer buys from you, getting the customer to come back and buy more and more and more. The general store, it cannot do that. It's a very hard time to do that because pretty much with the general store, people, it's full of a whole bunch of random stuff, so it's rare, and it's something that people have to buy over and over again to refill up. But it's pretty much rare that a customer is gonna pretty much come back forth and forth because they just love the store because it doesn't have a sense of direction. It's not a niche. So the one product store is the same thing. So it only sells out one product. So once you buy, you don't need it anymore unless it's something that's refillable. So the only store type that fits all 3 of the 3 ways to grow any business is a niche store. So the goal is to get a niche store. That's the end goal, okay? But you have to remember the systematic format, okay? You have to remember that the system is you start off with the journal so you can find products fast. Once you find a winning product, then you move it to a one product store to boost your conversions and so you can make more money and as you're making more money and you're boosting conversion and selling more of that product, you're researching other products that complement that product well so you can convert that into a niche store, okay? So that is the reason, and let me tell you this, for all you guys who don't know me, I made millions of dollars with each one of these stores. So I'm not just taking some crap out my butt and just trying to just say, okay, this is why. I got nothing to sell you. I ain't selling you no course. I'm just really trying to help you guys, all right? I ain't like these other dropshipping guys who don't care about you and just fill you up with fluff. I'm giving you real facts based off of each of my stores who've each made millions and millions of dollars, okay? So remember this, you guys. Remember to follow the system. The system is the solution, okay? So what I want you guys to do right now, I want you to type in the comments below, the system is the solution, and I want to make sure you subscribe to this channel because I'm going to release the next few videos and they're all going to be literally going step by step on exactly how I created my store that generated $85,000 this month, and the next videos are going to be about product research, okay? I'm going to go through the process on how I found that winning product as well too, okay? So that being said, you guys, make sure you subscribe to this channel, make sure you leave a thumbs up in this channel and turn those those notifications on, and I'll see all of you in the next video. And remember, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to become great, because you, yes, you have greatness inside of you. There's nothing that you cannot do, because the word impossible spells I'm possible, and anything is possible for you. So I'll see you guys in the next video, my Dropship Panthers. All right, peace.